Welcome to Quick Bite, your fast and friendly Florida insurance update.
Hello. This is Roshonda, agency owner of the Isom Insurance Group here in the Sunshine State of Florida. Back again with another Quick Bite episode, your fast and informative insurance market update. Today is Friday, February the 6th, 2026. It's Friday. And we all know what that means. It's Free Friday. And on Free Friday, we talk about real life insurance questions people are dealing with. And we address the, real life questions that came from current customers or from prospects in the week. Today's topic is one I see every single week inside my agency. We're talking about side hustles and why they create insurance problems. Uber driver, Etsy sellers, Airbnb hosts, food trucks, content creators, online resellers, delivery drivers, home bakers, mobile detailers. If you're doing anything that brings in extra income, this episode is for you, because side hustles are great for your bank account, but they are often a nightmare for your insurance if they are not set up correctly. So let's get into it. First, let's acknowledge reality. Side hustles are no longer rare. They are mainstream. According to recent data, nearly 40% of Americans report having some form of side income. In Florida, that number is even higher due to tourism, gig work, and flexible online businesses. People start side hustles for good reasons. They want extra income. They want flexibility. They want to test a business idea without quitting their main job. And here's the part nobody tells you. Insurance policies are not designed for kind of businesses. Insurance is very literal. Either you are using something for personal use or you are using it for business use. There is very little gray area. Side hustles live entirely in that gray area. Let me tell you the most common thing I hear from clients, and they say it's just a side thing. And insurance companies respond with, that does not exist. From an insurance standpoint, income is income, business use is business use, and risk is risk. It does not matter if you made $5 or $50,000. It does not matter if you do it once a month or every day. If the activity increases risk, your policy cares. Let's start with rideshare and delivery, because this is the one of the most common issues. If you drive for Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, Instacart, or any delivery app, your personal auto policy does not fully cover you. Most people assume the app covers me. Sometimes it does, and sometimes it does not. Coverage depends on what phase you are in, whether the app is on, whether you're waiting for a ride, whether a passenger is in the car, whether food is in the vehicle. There are gaps. And those gaps are where claims get denied. I've seen claims denied because someone was technically available on the app but had not accepted a ride yet. That is not bad luck. That is policy language. A rideshare endorsement or commercial policy is often required if you only drive part-time for any of those type of ride sharing services. Now let's talk about Etsy sellers, online resellers, and home-based businesses. This is where homeowners insurance gets involved. Most homeowners policy limit or exclude coverage for business property inside the home. That means inventory, equipment, supplies, and even packaging materials may not be covered. I've seen situations where someone lost thousands of dollars in inventory due to water damage or being stolen, and found out their homeowner's policy only covered a few $100s because it was considered business property. Even worse, liability exposure is often overlooked. If someone claims your product caused damage or injury, your homeowner's policy is not designed to defend a business lawsuit. That is where people get blindsided. Airbnb deserves its own conversation. Many homeowners assume short-term rentals are covered because it's still my house. From an insurance perspective, a short-term rental is often considered a business operation. Some policies allow limited short-term rental activities, others exclude it entirely. Platform coverage like Airbnb host guarantee is not a replacement for insurance. It has exclusions, limits, and conditions. I have seen homeowners shocked to learn that damage caused by a guest was not covered because the policy did not allow short-term rental use. This is one of the fastest ways to avoid coverage without realizing it. Let me just kind of expand on this a little bit more. So a lot of times some policies do allow short-term rentals, but it has a minimum. So when I say that, it means like it has to be a minimum. Each visit has to be a minimum of 3 nights, 2 days. So if you're turning and burning like every day with different guests, you got to really check your policy, because if you have one of the policies that only cover short-term rentals that have a minimum 3 nights and a minimum 3 nights, 2 days, if you're not abiding by that, you can find yourself with a claim being denied. Another thing that some carriers will cover short-term rentals, but they do not cover any type of liability while you actually have a guest in the property. I've heard some carriers kind of say, because like the Airbnb or the Verbal, they actually provide you liability coverage during that time. So just really check your policy. Be sure that you know what you have and that you don't have any gaps in coverage. Now let's talk about food trucks, home bakers, and mobile service businesses. Anytime you are serving food, handling customer property, or operating equipment, liability exposure increases dramatically. Health departments may approve your operation, but insurance companies care about fire risk, bodily injury, and property damage. A homeowner's policy does not cover a home bakery selling goods to the public. A personal auto policy does not cover a truck outfitted with cooking equipment. This is where commercial liability, product liability, and proper auto coverage becomes critical. I've seen this kind of happening more so where certain they're selling like plates of food, like they're out of your home. They're advertising, hey, I got dinners that I'm selling out of my home. Really be careful on the liability standpoint of that, because your homeowner's policy does not cover that type of business. You really need to have a general liability policy, commercial general liability policy, to cover that type of business, because you could be held liable if someone gets sick and comes back and tries to sue you for that, and you think that you're covered under your homeowners or your renter's policy. It's probably excluded. You really need to make sure you have proper coverage. Now let's talk about content creators, because this one surprises people. If you earn income through YouTube, TikTok, brand partnerships, or affiliate marketing, you are operating a business. If you use equipment, studio space, drones, or film in public areas, you may have liability exposure. I've seen claims denied when expensive cameras or equipment were damaged because they were considered business property. Income-based activities create risk even when they look harmless. In that situation, I really would suggest that you do need probably an umbrella, a commercial umbrella policy, because you do not only want to cover for your equipment. You do need that. You need a commercial property policy that covers for your equipment and everything like that, and also general liability. But you also need probably a commercial umbrella policy that will help give more coverage, especially for content creators with slander. That's kind of picking up. So you want to make sure that you're covered. So why do claims get denied? Here's the hard truth. Claims are not denied because companies are mean. Claims are denied because policies are specific. If a loss happens while an excluded activity is taking place, coverage can disappear instantly. Insurance does not work on intent, it works on usage. That is why side hustles create problems. Also, you got to think too, from an insurance standpoint, they're rating the risk based on just a standard homeowner, right? Like if it was a homeowner, like you're running a business out of your home, it's not rated for a business. It's rated as a family living in your home and what can happen. So the rates are based on that. It's not based on a extended or a additional liability comes from you working or having a business out of your home. People come in and out, maybe making purchases, buying plates and things like that. So you have to think about that from an insurance standpoint. They're rating the policy on specific risks. They're not rating for those things. So you have to have the proper coverage for those things. Here's the good news. Fixing these gaps is usually not expensive. Many people assume business coverage means thousands of dollars. In reality, small business endorsements, riders, or policies can often be added for a reasonable cost. The biggest mistake is not asking. If you remember nothing else from today's episode, remember this. If something makes you money, it changes your insurance. Side hustles are smart, they are creative, they are necessary for many families, but they need to be insured correctly. Ignoring it does not make it go away. If today's Free Friday quick bite made you think about your own side hustle or income streams, now is a great time to review your coverage and make sure it actually matches your life. To get a quote or review your current insurance, please visit our website at isominsurancegroup.com, which again, it's right below me on the screen. Insurance is not about fear, it is about alignment. If you found this episode helpful, please like this video. Share with your friends, neighbors, co-workers. Also subscribe to the channel so that you get your notifications of when a new video drops. And don't forget to drop in the comments with any questions or topics you would like for me to cover in any future episodes. Quick Bite episodes drop every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern. And as always, this video is for educational purposes only and should not be taken as legal, tax, or specific insurance advice. Please consult a licensed insurance professional regarding your unique situation. This is Roshonda with the Isom Insurance Group here in sunny Florida. Thank you for watching. As always, I will see you next time, and please stay safe out there. Bye.
Thank you for watching. Visit us at isominsurancegroup.com.